My name is Heather, and today we're going to talk about whether it's okay to use Canva elements in your children's book. I've seen a lot of misinformation going around about whether it's okay legally to use Canva elements in your children's book or not. So I wanted to make this video just to kind of explain all of the terms and everything. But I do want to mention that I'm not a lawyer and this is not official legal advice. This is just based off my 20 years experience in graphic design and reading Canva's terms and doing my own research. If you need actual legal advice, please contact an attorney. Before we start, I want to give a special thank you to Jonathan De Silva, director of the Penn State Intellectual Property Clinic, for his advice on this info. If you're in Pennsylvania and you have questions about intellectual property, you can reach out to the clinic for questions. I'll have a link to their website in the description of this video. The short answer to your question is yes, you can use Canva elements in your children's book. Now I'm going to go through all the details that explain why this is true. There are two kinds of licenses here. One is for the free and one is for the pro. There are elements that are free elements, and those ones are free for anyone to use as long as you make an account. And then the pro elements are elements where you either need a pro account to use or you pay for them one-off, like maybe $1 or something per element that you want to use in your design. Let's take a look at the free licenses first. The elements that Canva has for free are either from Pixabay or Pexels, or they're labeled CC0 or public domain. And if it's not any of those, then it's covered by the free content license. In Canva's terms, it says if it comes from Pixabay, then you have to refer to the Pixabay license. So if we look at that one, the Pixabay license says what are you allowed to do with the content, and you're allowed to use it for free, and you're allowed to use it without having to attribute the author. And you're allowed to modify or adapt it into new works, which is what you're doing when you create a children's book. What you're not allowed to do is sell or redistribute it on a standalone basis. So you can't like put it up on your website and say, I have this clip art for you to use. For the Pexels content, this one says what is allowed. They're all free to use and attribution is not required. And you're allowed to modify them, be creative, edit them as you like. And what is not allowed is to sell unaltered copies of just that image. So as long as you're using it in a design where you're using multiple items together, which is what you're doing for your children's book, if you're building scenes, then that's totally okay. The next thing is the CC0 or public domain, and it says refer to the CC0 license. CC0 means that the person who created the artwork, which they would automatically have the rights to this artwork because they are the creator, they decided to waive their copyright and they're dedicating their work to the public domain. So they are saying that it's okay to use this and they don't own the rights anymore. As it says on the website, you can use it to the fullest extent permitted by law. It's a royalty-free license, which means you don't have to pay royalties on it, and you can use it for any purpose. Lastly, the Canva terms say if it's not from Pixabay, Pexels, or CC0, it's covered by the free content license. The free content license under Canva says that they are granting you the right to use this as defined in sections 5 and 6 below. So we'll go ahead and look at sections 5 and 6. And in here, you can see that the things that you're allowed to make with the free content includes, in number 6, entertainment applications such as books and book covers. So that's exactly what you're using it for. The only thing that you can't use it for is if you take that image and you sell that image on its own. But as long as you're taking elements and putting them together to make a design, like a tree here, a bench here, a person here, you're fine. And then number 6 is just additional uses that you can use it for, like downloading it on a standalone basis. using it in templates to sell the templates, stuff like that. As far as the books go, you're good. The other kind of license that Canva has is the Pro Content License. Certain elements that Canva offers are labeled as Pro. First of all, the way that you're going to get this Pro license, there's multiple ways to get it. You can either pay for the individual license, or you're going to just have a Pro account, and then that's just going to get you unlimited Pro elements. There is a part in here that I've gotten questions about, which says that each Pro license allows to use the content in one Canva design. If you are purchasing an individual item, like you don't have a Pro account, you only have a free account, and you're paying like $1 or $2 to use this one element, then you will need to pay each time that you use that element. But when you export, Canva is going to prompt you to pay for these. You don't have to worry that people are going to come after you and say, oh, you didn't pay for this or that, because Canva is going to prompt you to pay when you go to export the design. If you have a Pro subscription, then you just don't have to worry about it, because every time that you export your project, it's going to grant a new license for you, so you don't have to worry about it. The next thing that I've gotten questions on is the part in KDP when you're uploading your book and it says publishing rights, and you have two options: I own the copyright and hold the necessary publishing rights, or this is a public domain work. If you wrote the story yourself and you're using Canva to create the images for your book, then you're going to be checking the I own the copyright and hold necessary publishing rights. Now you might say, how do I own the copyright if I'm using other people's illustrations? Well, the answer is that you own the copyright because what you're creating is a design. It is a work of graphic design, and it is a work of art because you assembled all of the pieces together and you own the rights to that design. If we go to copyright.gov and look at the visual artists page on here, it says copyright protects original works of authorship, including original pictorial, graphic, and sculptural artwork. And this includes graphic art, which graphic art is when you put things together and assemble things to create a new design. And your work is automatically covered by the artist's copyright. So the moment that you create it, it is already covered for copyright, and it is not allowed to be distributed by anyone else but you. And in the KDP sentence here for publishing rights, it says, I own the copyright. So that's what we just went over. And I hold necessary publishing rights. So the publishing rights are that you have the rights to publish those individual elements that make up your design. And you have the rights to that because you have the license, which you got from Canva. Or it would be the CC0 license or the Pixabay license or Pexels. Another question that I get a lot is, do I need to copyright my work? Under the artist copyright, it is automatically copyrighted the moment that you create it. You don't need to officially register your work. You can if you want some additional legal protections, but you never need to. If you do, it's just going to be something additional that you do. Do you need a copyright page in your book? No, this isn't completely necessary. However, it is industry standard. It's a good practice to do. And it's good because it's very informational. It lets people know who created the book, when it was created. It also just deters people from wanting to steal your designs. So it's just good to have. In Canva's license, it says that you don't need to attribute Canva or Canva's artists in the design, so you do not need to include that information. I've been hearing a lot of people say that they illustrated their book in Canva, and if you did not hand draw the illustrations, like draw them digitally or draw them traditionally or paint or basically your own creation, then you did not illustrate the book. So please don't use that terminology when you describe the fact that you laid out the scenes in Canva. You can say you designed the book in Canva, you laid out the book in Canva, but just don't say that you illustrated the book. because people are going to think that you hand drew it. And then you're taking credit for drawing those illustrations that you didn't actually draw. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Or as always, you can email me at heather@heathercash.com. Also, check out my Creativity Club on Facebook, where we inspire and motivate each other in our creative projects. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so I know to make more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!